Now, we know that Daniel Dubois and his promoter Frank Warren would like him to fight Joe Joyce sometime this year, but a fight that neither him nor his promoter have talked about is Martin Bakole, because Martin Bakole and his manager have called Daniel Dubois out several times. Eddie Hearn apparently made an offer to Daniel Dubois to face Martin Bakole, but so far, radio silence from Team Dubois. Now, Bakole is a realistic fight. Why? Well, he's had a similar number of professional fights to Daniel Dubois. Bakole is currently 15-1, so he's had 16 fights. He's beaten a similar level of opposition. So Daniel Dubois has been fighting people like Fujimoto, Ebenezer Tete, Nathan Gorman, Latte, Kajanu, Kevin Johnson, Tom Little. Whereas Martin Bakole has fought, let's see, Rodney Hernandez. He also fought Kevin Johnson. That's a common opponent. Daniel Dubois went the distance with Kevin Johnson, of course, 2018, went 10 rounds, whereas Martin Bakole actually stopped Kevin Johnson in 5. That was last year, 2019. So he's fought Hernandez, he's fought Kevin Johnson, he's fought Marius Wack, of course, managed to get the stoppage there. Marius Wack just went the distance with Dylan White, so that was a good result for him. Kamil Sokolovsky, somebody he's beat. Have they both? I think they've both fought D.L. Jones, haven't they? So that's another common opponent. Martin Bakole stopped D.L. Jones in 1 round. What did Daniel Dubois do against D.L. Jones? He stopped D.L. Jones in 3. So against at least some of the common opponents, Martin Bakole's been doing better. Again, just because somebody does better against a common opponent, it doesn't mean he's the better fighter necessarily, because styles make fights. But still, when you look at the stage they're both at in their careers, it's a similar stage. Therefore, this is a viable fight. If they're willing to put Daniel Dubois in there against anybody, as Frank Warren claims, why not Martin Bakole? Surely Bakole is better than putting him in against Fujimoto or Ebenezer Tete. Richard Latte as well. He likes fighting these obscure African fighters. Or here's an obscure African fighter who would love to fight Daniel Dubois. Now, there's been rumors, of course, over the past year or so of Martin Bakole giving Daniel Dubois the business in sparring. But sparring is sparring. You know, Nathan Gorman said that he gave Daniel Dubois fits in sparring when they were both on amateur team together. But we saw what happened in their pro fight. So just because Bakole did something in sparring doesn't mean he could do it in a pro ring against Daniel Dubois. But let's see, it at least gives the fight some kind of backstory. As with the Nathan Gorman fight, it's a realistic fight right now. Martin Bakole is not a big ticket seller. You can get him cheap. You know, Eddie Hearn said Frank Warren can pay Martin Bakole whatever he wants him for the Daniel Dubois fight. You know, whatever he wants to pay him. So basically, he's saying that he will pay Bakole himself. That Warren doesn't have to worry about paying Bakole. He can have Bakole for a very cheap price against Dubois, or virtually for free. I mean, that's a great offer if you truly believe in your guy, right? Bakole's a good opponent, fighting at a similar stage of his career to Dubois. But I don't think Frank Warren wants it, because if Dubois ends up losing, imagine how much that's going to boost Bakole's career, and imagine how much that's going to boost Matchroom. And Matchroom, let's be real, have got Frank Warren and Queensbury and BT on the ropes again. You know, I kind of felt like there might have been a turning of the tide when Frank Warren did the BT deal and AJ lost and all that kind of stuff. There was an opportunity there for Frank Warren and BT to do some catch up, make up some ground against Sky and Matchroom. But alas, it wasn't to be. And BT and Frank Warren are back on the ropes again. If Bakole was to fight Dubois and beat him, and I'm not saying he necessarily would, but it's a good fight. If Bakole was to fight Dubois and beat him, oh no, where does Frank Warren go from there? Because he's, you know, not exactly got a whole load of top fighters at the moment, does he? He's already lost Billy Joe Saunders. I mean, Tyson Fury is essentially a top-ranked Bob Arum fighter more than he is a Frank Warren Queensbury fighter. I mean, they're talking about the Tyson Fury Wilder rematch maybe being on Sky. So you can see why Frank Warren would be hesitant to put Daniel Dubois in against Bakole. If Bakole was a BT fighter, Frank Warren might be more willing to put Dubois in with him. But because he's a Matchroom fighter, and we know Frank Warren is fiercely competitive, he doesn't want to take that risk. Not with a Matchroom guy. If it was some random guy even, let's say Bakole was signed to, I don't know, some obscure promotional outfit in Africa, Frank Warren would probably take the Bakole fight for Dubois. But when it's Hearn, he's like, I can't do it. Because if Bakole beats my guy, I'm done. Or I'm a lot closer to being done than I was beforehand. I don't think Frank Warren is confident enough in Dubois to take it. Not that he thinks Dubois will definitely lose, but he understands that it's a big risk and a risk that he's probably not willing to take. As far as Dubois and his confidence, I mean, how many times has Dubois taken a beating in sparring over the years? I don't know. I mean, in boxing, everybody takes a beating at some stage. Whether it's amateur or pro, is in sparring or in an actual fight, you're going to take a beating at some stage. Are you the kind of person who can come back from those beatings and then put it on the other guy? Or are you somebody who is disturbed when somebody's giving you a beating and they've always got kind of a mental hold on you? They've always got your number, psychologically as well as stylistically. Who knows what kind of character Daniel Dubois is? Is he confident that he could beat Martin Bakole right now? I think anybody who interviews Daniel Dubois anytime soon, they should put the Bakole question to him. I know Daniel Dubois isn't very forthcoming with answers, but I'd like to see what he says about Martin Bakole. Because if the public can, the boxing interviewers, etc., make this Dubois-Bakole fight a talking point, then it might be more realistic that the fight will happen because of the fact that Daniel Dubois' pride might kick in. And he might say to Frank Warren, you know what? And his dad, I can fight Bakole. They're saying that this guy is, beat me up in sparring or whatever. Now I can fight and beat this guy. Don't worry about it, Frank. Let me do it. They might create some kind of rivalry there. Again, these are guys at similar stages of their careers. Neither one of them is a big ticket seller. Of course, Dubois sells more tickets than Bakole. Let's be real. All right. But again, Dubois is not a household name in the UK. He's not on pay-per-views. He's not doing anything big. Same as Bakole. So it's a viable fight. I doubt it will happen. I think a more realistic fight will be Joe Joyce. But even the Joe Joyce fight, I got my doubts about because, Frank Warren probably not going to pay him the money that he wants. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who should Daniel Dubois fight next? Do you think that he will fight Martin Bakole? Do you think he'll consider it? Or do you think it will be Joe Joyce? Or do you think it will be somebody else? Do you think Daniel Dubois is going to have a big year in 2020? Or is it going to be a slow year, a disappointing year where we don't see him in too many competitive fights? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's Hatman, I'm out. Hatman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below.